kind of bring you guys along for the journey. I know after making games for now about 30 years, I know it's still a mystery to people how things get made and what happens behind the scenes. Some of the challenges. I know there's been some TV shows out talking about how games are made, and those are fun parody. I can't bring myself to watch those because they're a little bit too close to home, maybe too many painful memories kind of thing. But they're also hilarious. So it looks like our stage is filling up. For Michelle, Mal, Volcron's here. I think we've got another couple people going to join us up here. Musashi is not here. He's actually out, so I'll be answering the design questions this week. He'll be back next week to join us.
Do we want to get started? Or do we want to wait a couple more minutes? Hey, Rosaurus.
There we go. Okay, that's what I think our cast is here. So why don't you take it away, Michelle?
I think we're going to start with the Townstar live game updates, and I think Rosaurus, who just got here, is going to take those this week.
Great. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Happy Friday, everybody. Let's see. What questions did you have for us?
Happy Friday.
You just want to go over some of the updates that happened this week in the game?
Gosh, we actually had a pretty productive week. The engineers were kicking butt and taking names, and we've got our sale ready for and release for Tuesday. That's right. That's going to be on Tuesday because we have a company holiday on Monday. I believe it's Columbus Day, if I'm not mistaken. And we've got everything in. The build is in QA, and we are going to be ready to rock on Tuesday. So that's really exciting.
That's cool. Yeah, Indigenous People Day or Columbus Day. I'm not sure what we're calling it right now.
I'm not sure either.
Well, I'll be off. We'll take a much needed break. So 3-day weekend for the team.
Much needed break. Everyone's really excited about it. So we definitely put the pedal to the metal this week to make sure that we could take the day. So Michelle, you said there was a couple of questions that you had for us. I don't have them pulled up in front of me at the moment.
I've got a question for you. It says, why are the status bars gone? Will they be back in Townstar Forever?
So as far as Townstar Forever, I'll let Volcron speak to that, or SageMaker. But the status bars are removed due to the Ledger of Truth and it just spamming the daylights out of our servers and making it very difficult to be able to determine who is cheating.
It sounds like a sort of one of those the things where we fix one issue but create a side effect in another. I'll just jump in there. Sure, we'll put them back in Townstar Forever.
They do come in handy sometimes.
Mm-hmm. What about the other question I see on the list? Yeah.
The other question I have for Townstar Live is, will there be more rivers added?
Do you guys want more rivers? Is that a trick question?
Okay. I gotta check the discussion channel real fast.
Right now, there isn't specific plans to add more rivers, but that doesn't mean that we might not do it. It doesn't mean that we won't. It just means that at least what we've got planned right in front of us, for the next few weeks, is not going to be happening. But we can probably pull something off. Just saying.
I love all the discussion pictures and comments there. So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying that if everyone really wants more rivers, I bet you I could talk to the boss and maybe get that put in. I'm just throwing that out there.
There you go. So guys, make it known if a lot of people want more rivers, we'll look at that. Oh, of course, not just regular rivers, right? Let's make it a little more tricky and do salty rivers. Interesting.
I feel like there's plenty of ocean tiles around the edge of all of the continents. I mean, I guess those aren't
odd
technically
agent,
salty rivers.
one odd gent says rocky salty rivers. All right. Let's just you guys just speak your minds on this, and we'll take a check on it. And like Ressora says, we'll see what we can do.
All right, let's move on to some design questions then. That sound good?
Yes.
The
Yes.
first design question I have is, can we trade resources between towns in Townstar Forever?
Yes, and let me put a qualification on that in a way that doesn't break the game. So that means we'll have to have some limits and make sure people don't misuse the system. I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet, but there's just lots of mechanisms. You know, whether it's a set delivery schedule, whether it's a request that goes out to everyone or goes out to people around you, goes out to your friends. We'll do that because one of the things is sometimes you just have extra stuff. And one of your neighbors or friends says, "Hey, anybody got any extra wheat?" I'm like, "Here's some," and maybe they give you a little bit of money for that, or maybe it's just a friend trade. So, yes.
So, the next question I have here is, what is the role of NFTs in the persistent mode? Will there be advantages for NFT owners playing persistent mode, or will it just be for fun and the NFTs are for competitions?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, it feels like an NFT question always comes up every week. So I'm happy to make sure that everybody understands everything. So first off, remember we talked about before that we're going to be reviewing each NFT for the impact on the fun and the economy of the game. There's a lot of stuff in there that we just got to make sure works in the new version. Now that's still the plan. We haven't done it yet. That's still the plan. We're still putting together the I don't want to call it finishing touches, the next step of work on the overall game design for persistent mode. We know we have what I'm now calling classic Townstar Live competition mode. And the intention there is in that competition mode for the NFTs to work as they work right now. In persistent mode, we have to evaluate and, make sure that we get the right answer for that. And I want to do everything we can to keep the functionality the same. But since it is kind of a radically different style of gameplay, we just got to review everything. That's the answer.
That was a beautiful answer. The next question that I have is, will we be able to play the persistent mode and the competition mode at the same time?
Yes. I know that's a question that everybody asked. Just think about it as having just two different playboards, if you will. Competition mode is more like what I like to call the sandcastle mode. You build it, over time it will end. And persistent mode is the thing you're going to build, the diorama, the play space, the sandbox you're going to get to use forever. Now, the next question everybody always asks is, what about a practice town? Yes, we'll make that work as well. And when you think about this and you're like, oh, how could you just say that so quickly and so easily? I couldn't say that without even the code being built because of the new server architecture, because of the fact that we're on Godot, and we'll just be able to add, well, let's call it a new mode into the game. It'll be pretty straightforward. So hopefully, at some point we could just get some of these questions. I know these questions come up regularly. Be able to just start publishing out FAQs that people will read so that we can see, so we can get onto other questions too. So good question. Thanks for asking that again, whoever asked it.
The next question I have here is there any indication that the competitions in Townstar Forever will be able to be completed when you want based on your personal schedule, or will they be set open and closed times like the ones now on the Townstar Live game?
Right. So yeah, we'll start. Like I mentioned, we're still going to have what I call classic Townstar Live competition mode. That will have a set start and a set end. But we also have just a ton of ideas for new modes. We haven't nailed those down yet, but I don't know. It feels like a parameter tweak if we set up the mode right, where you could start competitions or have different competitions overlapping each other. So just pretty straightforward. So look for flexibility on that. Once we nail that down, of course, we will share everything we can.
Great. And one other question about competitions, it seems. Will there be weekly
Competition.
competitions? Yeah, they want to know if it's
Weekly
weekly.
competitions. Yeah, this is the week for competition questions. We'll have the ability to do that in Townstar Forever. And the question on my mind, and this is something that talk with competition master Mal about, and the whole team is: do we do it weekly? Do we do it bi-weekly? Do we do it monthly? What if we have multiple competitions going? So it's not a matter of can we, it's just a matter of what do we think is best for the community. And of course, people, please, everybody out there, please do chime in on your thoughts, because it matters. We'd love to do what people like.
And, the last question I have here on the design section is: will the persistent towns be multi-biome as they grow from 16 by 16 to 64 by 64?
Oh, yeah, great question. So, one of the questions that I have, and just clarification should make, is what do we mean by biome? When I think of a biome, that's kind of like we traditionally have in the game. It's like, okay, I'm in the desert section, right? We know that the first map in the first town section in Townstar Forever will be kind of what I call green, green trees, kind of like you see it right now. And as we expand, we'll have the opportunity to add more interesting pieces in that same map, if you will, in that same town as you grow it. We'll have forests, or maybe have a river, a new river that exposed, or a lake, or maybe it's a little bit of a hilly or mountainous area. And we could also, technically add a desert section to the bigger town map, but it kind of feels like that would be better saved for a whole new map. Right, a second map or a second town that you get. And so, whether that's going to be, we'll just jump right do deserts, or we'll do something like, I don't know, like an English countryside, or on the bluffs overlooking the ocean, or, maybe even just pick another country type style of work. We'll just have to figure that out. But the first focus will be on your persistent town, will be on what I call the green style map.
Awesome. That was a great answer. People look pretty excited about it.
Oh, thank you. I'm just catching up on some of the Discord chat. Any questions we should pull out of that before we move on?
I haven't
Oh,
seen
man.
any yet. It does seem like there's new people coming in who don't even know that we're building a new game, which is fun.
What? Yeah, cool. Well, welcome all the new people. There's lots of stuff going on. You get to see some more. You know what? I'm looking at our Notion page here of stuff. Well, why don't we
do
jump?
we want to move on?
Yeah, let's jump down to the tech questions.
All right. The first tech question I have here is: will Godot fix issues that are currently solved by clearing cache?
Oh, can I take that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. You're the tech guy.
Yeah. So, as anybody who plays Townstar Live, and is curious, like you probably pop open in your JavaScript console and you see what's transferred. What you'll see in Townstar Forever is just a giant pack file. So, short answer, yes.
What's a pack file?
So instead of your browser requesting, say, 10,000 textures and models and whatever, the pack file has all that in one. So however the game loads in the browser, it will have all the resources it needs, and there won't be any weird one-off images disappearing.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Well, that sounds exciting. I don't know a lot about tech. Most of it just kind of goes right over my head, but it definitely sounds exciting. It'll be nice not to have to clear our cache every time there's a game update to make sure that it runs properly. I know that that's a hassle for some people. Especially since I feel like a lot of browsers don't really clear cache properly all the time, and some people have to do it multiple times.
I see a note there from Rostakip. What is the size of the pack file? Do we have any idea on that? Yes, yet, Volcron?
Yeah, right now it's 20. Well, right now it's only 25 megs, but we don't have all the assets in there. So it's pretty tidy.
Pretty tidy. It feels, as someone who just a year or so ago had a only a 30 megabit per second connection rate. That feels slightly large, not too scary.
Mhm.
But we know if we find out that that first pack is too big, we can do it. We can break it into sections. I'm guessing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
From the beginning, we've thought, well, how about to improve the load speed, we ship what absolutely has to be seen by the player at that time, and then later, if they're interacting with assets that they didn't need for the initial load, we'll stream those in as they're necessary.
Cool.
The next question I have here for tech questions is when can NFT crafting resume for crane bots, etc.? And will there be more NFT crafting in the future?
That's a funny question. That's more like a projection out into the future, I think, for Townstar forever. And so, it'll start again on when we have Townstar Forever. Yes, we know about green bots and all the other bots. And then I don't think we're going to restart that for Townstar Live. There's a lot of other things that we want to do in that game first before we get to that. And by that point, it'll likely be ready for us to move over to Townstar Forever. Volcron, did you have any other thoughts, or Resource? I don't want to jump in and change your roadmap on the fly, but I didn't think we had that on it right now.
No other thoughts.
Okay.
What's this roadmap you speak of? I'm teasing.
Yes. Well, there's a note, right? Each we do, and why don't you share just to take a moment and share a little bit about what roadmap means for Townstar Live.
Roadmap is pretty much exactly what you think it might be. It is planned future features and NFTs and bug fixes and dates for these goals and aspirations to go into certain releases. And we do our best to adhere to those each and every week. And that's what, it's essentially what a roadmap is. If I didn't cover all of it, Volcron, please feel free to jump in and put in some 2 cents. If you've got some change.
You've got it. No, sounds good. You covered it well.
Cool.
That's all I really got for questions this week.
Oh,
I keep
okay.
asking
Maybe we.
people to ask more questions, but nobody's submitting questions. What is that?
What was that? Look at that! Somebody posted a giant. Is that a question or it's an idea? All right, let's time machine. Thank you for posting that. But let's would you like to change it like this? Okay, we're gonna hold off on talking about the suggestion. But what questions does everybody have? We're looking in the discussion group right now, our discussion channel. Go ahead and share any notes or questions that you have there.
Priya says when Townstar in space.
Wow, I don't know. Sounds like we should get Townstar Forever working first. What I do like, it could be another biome, right? The space biome.
Oh, you've got to build all the stuff to get there and survive there. It's not going to be easy.
Ooh, that totally sounds like a Mount feature. It's like, yes, you can get there, but here's the really complex build you need to do.
That could be really fun.
Let's see. Okay, so there was one note. Somebody asked a note about bridging. Can we talk about bridging back and forth? I think I saw that kind of flip up before we had the really cool space question. The overall plan, and I'll just kind of touch it generally. We talked about last week. You're going to be able to use your current ETH-based NFTs, the Townstar Live-based NFTs, and Townstar Forever. You don't have to change them, but if you'd like, we'll have the option to migrate them over to the Jiri chain to be what I can certainly call native Townstar Forever NFTs, and with the idea there that once they're on Jiri, we'll have more options to add some more features to them, sort of like upgrades and changes and other cool things that we can think of. In terms of bridging back from Jiri to ETH, our Jiri team tells me that's going to be possible. I'm just going to follow their lead on when they bring that functionality online. You guys see other questions in there? Michelle and Mal? This is a lot of stuff flying by the screen today. It's awesome.
I'm not
Just
seeing
having
any
a-
new questions. It's mostly the same questions about when economy is going to start back, when we're going to get a white paper.
I've seen one about leasing, well, renting. I don't know what name it's going by, but
Leasing or renting, like renting your NFTs.
yeah, I've seen that one fly past.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. That's one of the social things we're looking at. Obviously, it's kind of comes with the whole Web3, gestalt ideas, and what's cool about Web3 and actual asset ownership and actual, monetization of your assets, if you will. We'll look at that. I don't want to jump in and start talking about what we're thinking of it, but we know it's an important factor. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Let's see. Can we build a bridge over a pond? Yeah, it's an idea. One of the things I know I can say is possible is if we have a new section of the map that takes place across a river, for example. One of the kind of classic mechanics is have you as a player in your town build that bridge over to the other side of other side of the river. So it's kind of like the bridge over idea.
one way we also used to think about was skins as well, because you can also cosmetic them, which people like to have.
Yeah.
Different style bridges, not just any bridge.
That's a good idea. So skins is featuring pretty heavily in our thinking as we're cooking up all the designs for Townstar Forever. Definitely so. Any other quick questions you guys see that we should jump onto before we move on to the rest of the exciting agenda? We have some cool stuff coming.
I see somebody just asked a question that are all of those NFTs going to get burned, as was said when the store was emptied?
What? Who asked that?
How convenient.
Dash Rip Rock.
28. B Sharp 28 asked that too. I don't know. Maybe that's our cue just to move forward in our agenda then. What do you guys say?
I think that's a great plan.
Okay, go for it.
So, on the subject of those NFTs that were pulled from the store, I don't remember how many months ago now, but we said they would be banned. They were pulled to be banned. So, I see Top Boy just shows up now, looking all suspicious after leaking my leak yesterday anyway. So we're thinking now every week with the AMA, we're going to have a ban party. Duderino called it a ban and mal. After thinking about that, that kind of scared me. So we're not going to use that name. But it's going to be a nice weekly ban party. We've got the video ready. I'm going to post it right now, and you're going to see the first thing this week that's going to be banned. And each week we're going to spin the wheel, and then we are going to ban something. And as SageMaker says, everything will ban. The list, I'm going to try and get the list. I'm going to get it double checked once more just to make sure that there's nothing that was sold out, because that obviously wouldn't be banned. Banned, Mal. Thanks, Rusty Kip. So I'm going to get the list double checked. We'll get that posted in Discord, and we'll scratch them off as they're banned each week so we can all follow along and people don't have to be confused. We'll get that pinned. I'm now dropping the video that has been done for this week, and you will see there's the rare, nearly forgot rare wheat storage that we're banning this week, everyone. And then next week we'll be banning whatever else the wheel gives us, and we'll be removing from the list as we go down. So yes, we are finally getting rid of those NFTs that we said we'd ban. This is a promise that we wanted to get all of our promises done, as we've said. Sage has been great at making sure those are pushed through. So as always, big thank you to you, Sage.
Somebody says they need access? Really?
Oh, that was the link I was given. Oh no.
Are you guys sure?
Oh no.
Is there access? Try it. I don't have any trouble accessing it. Can't open
Yeah,
it.
it might be because
Oh,
it's
it's working.
your
Somebody says it's working. Yeah.
working now. No access. Can you upload it, Top Boy? Have you got it ready to just drop from there?
I'll drop it in there too. The people can access. People are saying it's working. There you go.
There we go. We'll get better for the next week. This was fairly, you know how it is. We decided we wanted to get it out. We wanted to start getting these promises done, and here we are. So we managed to squeeze this one in. I'm glad everyone gets to see the nice wheel. I'm hoping we can get some nice art on that. Everyone look at Odd Agent, or Todd, as we call him. So everyone please tag Todd for better art on the wheel. Looks like everyone can see.
So what's Mal? Talk about that process of the burn for maybe some of the people that are new here. What does it mean?
So we're basically going to send all. So we have some that are kept in a vault. So it was everything that was pulled that was left in stock in the store. To explain, so everything that was pulled that was in sort of on the sales side, not the vault side. Each week we'll take one of those and we'll send those NFTs off to a burn wallet, which essentially means it is unaccessible, removes them, gets rid of them from the supply, and then whatever's left that people own now or what exists basically. So we'll post that transaction once we've got it. But it's essentially, it's not a very animated thing, but it's just going off to the burn wallet. Hello World says the OX or the real. I'm going to assume OX. I think. I don't know. It'll be the one that gets rid of them completely, I assume. But I will get that double checked. Yes, Top Boy. That means that those NFTs become a lot rarer. All those NFTs become much rarer. Any more questions that I'm missing? It's going quick. There we
So
go.
this is a promise that we made as a team way back. Was it May or something? A while ago, right?
Yeah, I can't remember how many months now, but it's been a couple of months now at least. They were pulled from the store and they were to go in the bin. Now we're making a nice event out of it, which is nice. You have to do a weekly bin party, which makes the AMAs nice and fun.
One odd agent. Yeah, place bets on the next one. That'd be interesting. It'll be just another random pick. So
Yeah, we're going to spin the wheel. We'll remove obviously the ones from the list that come up, and it'll be a wheel spin. And we'll do that each week. While everyone's... Sorry, Sage?
Oh, I was just going to say, Crazy Town saying, are you going to release the numbers that are going to be burned, right? I think that'll show in the transaction, right?
Yeah, you'll see that in the... yes, you'll see that in the transaction that we post. Date, time, how many went?
Yeah, Will Bake, there you go. Posted that picture.
There we go. So that's... I'm not sure if that includes any in the vault, but yes, they... looks like a good number. So we'll definitely, you'll see it all anyway. It's all blockchain. It's all trackable. And we'll post a link anyway. We can also move on to the next part if we want.
Yeah, I was just going to comment. That's a really cool picture there. When free When starter, I love that burn party. Thanks, and I love all the pictures everybody's posting out. Yeah,
I know Todd's going to have some art ready. He hasn't been given that much of a heads up, but he's a master of what he does. So we're going to see some. We had some fun ideas last night for different cool video animation that can go on and make it, look more fun. Because Todd's amazing at what he does. Make it all burn, Todd. But pizza art, yeah, no, we don't want to entrust him full creativity, or it will just be a pizza.
So what do you guys think about the burn? Good? Good answer, good idea, good timing, happy? Seems like it, yeah, raw, okay. Love it, great idea, okay, thanks. That's a good burn, all right, Mara, way to go.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, we'll be doing this every week, so make sure everyone turns up to find out. It's going to be fun. It's always exciting. What's it going to be? So I see some people mention the flagging system. We've passed our feedback over. It's not been ignored. We're going to pass the we have passed the feedback over, and we'll speak and we'll try and get some sort of more clear on the rules. See what we can post to try and make it less seem unclear. Try and help where we can. It's obviously CS that's handling that, which is great for us. It's great for you in the sense that we can get the rewards out quicker. We get to a lot more people looking out for cheaters and actually checking. So, we're just going to try and figure out if we can, because it seems to be, just so you know, Sage, there was some people today who seemed to unsure why they were removed. Obviously, we don't disclose everything why a flag might happen, because that would help cheaters. So obviously there's the issue around how do we find a way to deal with when someone's flagged, give them a better answer basically.
Right. That sounds like a good plan. I saw a note there. Can we talk more about planned in-game uses of town in the future? Yes, we can talk about them in the future. I think what you meant is, can we talk about what your future plans are? Not yet, Manatee and Willow Martin, I see you in there. As we mentioned last week, we are in legal review on the economy. We have just a little follow-up to do on that. That happened last week. It was actually Friday and went well. So after we get through the follow-up and get all the rest of the parts and pieces in place, we'll write and release a white paper on that. So don't have a timeline on that, but yay, we are kind of through most of the thinking on it. So that's the answer on that. Should we jump on to the next section now?
I think our next section is all leaks.
Well,
Now's leaking time.
Well, it was kind of taken away. It was funny because last night, while me and Michelle were deep in the archives trying to find what's going on in Townstar, see what they're all doing for Halloween, and get all the goss so that we could share it in Discord, I received an email. And that email was the leak that wasn't supposed to be in the email. So, yeah, so it may or may not have been intentional, as Top Boy says, but it was a funny conversation nevertheless.
So wait a minute, if you're on the email list, you might get leaks early?
It seems that way. It seems like there's now something going on where Top Boy will just do what he wants in the email. So get ready for some cryptic leaks or very obvious ones. May depend. It's not pumpkin pie though. So I think people should definitely be checking their emails because Top Boy's got your back. So what I decided during the call with Michelle was, what do we do now since the leak's gone? So I thought, well, it just says Jack-o'-lantern. You don't know what you need. So we noticed that in the archives, there just happened to be clues around the meta, funny enough. So if you're paying attention over this weekend, you'll see some stories come out that might give away what you'll be needing. So I hope everyone's checking the announcements. But you will be doing the Jack-o'-lantern meta as the Halloween meta. And what I will tell you Is it as the potter? And he is the one that likes to carve pumpkins because he is a master with his hands. So you're going to need to know those pottery layouts. If you don't recall, the potter does not like any dirty, no pollution. He's a green man of the earth. So that is your first clue for the Halloween meta. And obviously that it involves pumpkins. Do we have any more leaks? I'm just trying to think of what's in this week and which isn't.
I feel like most of the leaks are going to be ready for next week. I think there'll be a lot more leaks next week than there are this week.
Yes, I feel like that as well. Just the production monitor, Rheosaurus, maybe I heard that was coming along nicely and that maybe in a couple of weeks we could be seeing it. So that was nice. Nice part, nice, not merely a leak, but just some more progress on that, which I think's great.
Yeah, we did look at everyone's feedback, and there will be decimals. I know that the image that we posted last week only showed whole numbers for rates, but I mean that was just an art mock-up. The actual production monitor will have decimal places for your rates.
And it does. I saw the progress on it last night, and it's looking wonderful. It's looking really good. I think you guys are going to be really happy with it. I know I am.
And I suppose we could leak the sale. Could always
Let's
just
do
take
it.
Top Boy's job. So we have got this week, well, not this week, coming Monday, or is it Tuesday? Is the sale Tuesday now?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
Tuesday.
sorry. The sale coming Tuesday. These holidays catch me off guard, you see. But we're going to bring in the rare water pump. I've seen the art on it. It looks great. Nice big beefy drums ready to just fire that. And water drums where they're needed. It's going to act the same as a normal. Oh yeah, I've realised they've been minted and sent out. So there you go. Looks like two big jet engines. I love it. But this is going to provide free water drums, not in a radius of free. Still on the, but provide it to the tiles around it. So the one radius, but free drums. So think how you can use this for, one water pump for your refineries if you place them right. Steel, there's all different places that you can get your water drum with the extra barrels in. That's nice. Yeah. Mine's, as Willow says, all the ways that you want. Does it have edge requirements? Yes. Still needs a pond, river, can be used by an ocean, all that usual stuff. Yep. Still needs the pond. Price? $70. It's going to be $70. So I'm just going to repeat the utility again so it's very clear. Still needs pump, still needs pond, river, or the ocean. It gives free water barrels or drums, however you name them, but it does not give them across a radius, like a 3-wide radius. It's the same as like the Orb of Hope, the way it does the just the tiles around it. So it's the one radius, but gives 3 drums, just to be very clear. There we
Nice
go.
summary
Thank
there.
you, Farmer
Yeah.
Michelle.
So I'll make a nice visual for the post as well, so everybody can visualize it, just like we did for the orbs. I feel like that was very helpful.
Very nice.
Quantity. Great question, Willow Martin. Any limits on quantities, guys?
This is a rare, so I believe there'll be around 2,000-ish. There we go, store 2,000. Thank you, Top Boy.
Yeah, so I imagine there
Awesome.
won't be a purchase limit on it either.
Okay. Will Bake says so I can buy 2,000.
If you need 2,000,
Go for it, Will.
when next Blue Steel meta? Yeah,
That's
Pete.
all
So
that
yeah,
we've
this
got
is
on our agenda for today, too. So,
That's all we had. Let's take a couple of last questions here. Seemed well, there's a lot of stuff that just come out in the last 24 hours, right? And one of the things I think the question that I have, I'll just jump in. Voltron. I know we did a quick review on the status of Townstar Forever, the playable this
Mhm.
morning. Can you share a little bit about stuff that's now in the build that maybe wasn't there before?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess if we broke it into two categories, we would say the parity, the feature parity we're bringing in from live, and then the other would be the new stuff, the things that's especially fun to talk about. For the parity, we've got, and I'm going to share a video in the Townstar discussion channel in a bit to show some of this off. We got the crafting in, the placing of NFTs. For this demo, we've got the Haunted Mansion and the Waterbot Home. We've got selling, which is obviously important, and then more building props. The fun ones to look at, I think, are the ones that make all the spinning and pumping, whatever. So we got the oil pump, the wind turbine, we have warehouse, oak tree farm, lumberyard, stuff like that. And then functionally, we also added the building rotation. So that's the past week for parity. And then for the new stuff, I don't know if anybody cares about this part, but we've upgraded our Godot to 351. And
Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? It sounds nerdy. What does that?
It
What
does.
What does upgrading mean?
Well, it's mostly about just keeping up with the latest bug fixes and improvements in the system. In this case, the only part where it was really, really helpful for us is there were some pathfinding changes in 3.5, which we've used in our improved pathfinding, which will also be in the vid. If people are watching the video that I'll link here in about 20 minutes when it's done uploading, you'll notice that the units will path around the footprint of the buildings. So it's better to see it than to hear me describe it, but you may notice that as you're watching that. We threw in the XP bar as well. And then there's a sneak peek of a social button in the bottom left. So run with that.
Cool. So another thing that you mentioned is we're getting it all connected with our auth system, right? Can you share what that means?
Sure, yeah. So important first step, testing it internally, of course, is running in our environment where we can give each other, whatever kind of NFTs or money or anything we want here to test it out. It's an important part, the user authentication of making sure that we're able to persist the towns, we're able to do kind of social dynamics and make sure that Manatee, yes, you did hear XP bar. Sartek, the vid I'm going to post in a bit. It's still uploading, sorry. And yeah, sorry, I got lost answering the questions.
So we're talking about just the auth system and having it turned on.
Well, it's so much fun, honestly. Like, we're at the point now where we can play it, right, and save it here. And like somebody asked earlier, the forever part of the Townstar Forever. I've got my OBS set up. I'm going to have my Forever Town as my my background video in all the meetings, so everybody will see my town as it grows over the months and whatever. And it's such a fun thing to have. Internally, I guess what that means for the players, the thing anybody cares about is we have a whole copy of the Gala website, Gala.games, for example. You would imagine we have that, of course, internally in a staging environment. And that's where we test everything first. So logging into Townstar Forever from our staging environment, it was a big, big, big step. It's one of those invisible pillars that I always bring up. And yeah, I got that done this week, and it's just great. I'm excited about it.
So and here I see people saying, when can we play? When do we get to touch it? Are we going to do a play test? Yes, we're going to do a play test. The date's not set yet, but having auth turned on was a key part of that. So that, people with the accounts, I'm not sure how we're going to roll it out yet. We're going to have allow lists, start small and get bigger. But the idea is to invite some people in, get a little bit of hands-on experience. We kind of watch and see how people play, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Mhm.
But that this is the reason I kept bringing up the auth button is because it's important for a player base. We've always over the past, I think it was at the start of September, Volcron, you posted a URL where anybody inside of Gala could go to just enter that URL and go see the state of things. But this is now actually logging onto your account.
Yeah, we don't have any funny internal URLs that people have to remember anymore. They can just go to our staging website and click play Townstar Forever.
Yeah. And Rastakip, we're not going to share that that URL. Tell us time, but it'll be more of a public URL. Manatee mentioned XP. Yes, that's one of the things we talk about. We talk about progression in the game, where you as a player will have a progression over time. Right now, Townstar Live, you build your town, competition ends, you build a new town, and it keeps going. With Townstar Forever, you have that idea of you as a player, you get to gain experience. That experience is used, I don't know, for rewards, unlocks, and other things. So definitely that's part of the game going forward. So we were going to ask it like any last questions. I think we're about ready to wrap up. Michelle, have you seen anything, any burning questions we should answer before we call it a day?
No, not really. People are just asking about the NFT utility. I'll put out a nice big post when we get off of this AMA and explain everything in full detail.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, let's just wrap it up then. Thanks to to all the team that's on the stage. Mal, from Michelle, Volcron, Resource, Top Boy, you're out there in the ether sending emails, so thank you for that. As well as all the rest of the team and Gala community sitting in on this AMA, and then of course to all of our players. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you found it interesting and exciting, and also you're leaving more well-informed than before, and we'll keep doing this. Just, it's the commitment we made, walk the talk, and everything you hear and everything we talk about is real. This is not just some speculation that will be speculating out into the future. Some of this stuff will take a little bit of time to get there. We've got a lot of work. The team's working hard to get everybody interesting, cool, fun stuff, both in Townstar Live and then also building Townstar Forever. So thanks, everybody. And thanks, everybody on stage, too.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Have fun, everyone. I'll see you in Discord.